But we're going to find out how the squads approach this as we head into game number 1. Of course, all 6 games will be played here on World's Edge, and we are joining on board with Team Cheez-It for our first drop. And so they will be dropping over at Lava City. We've been seeing this 50-50 taking place. Right now, we're joining on board with Team Intel, who are now over at Thermal Station. And so it looks like we are not going to be getting that 50-50. And so it's going to be maybe a different one. There is someone ahead of him. The 6 has one. He's only got the Re-45 and the P-2020, though. If he had the hammer point, that'd be nice. He does have the ability to catch up on that Pathfinder, cracking that armor, but he still just does not have the kill potential with that. I wonder who is facing off against them here.
And he has to be careful not to overextend with Pathfinder chasing down this solo, because he doesn't want to split too far from his team, and he always wants to position himself in a 1v1 basically. Having that height advantage or having that health advantage would be great for him.
Yeah, and you know, I love what they've finally done to Pathfinder, removing the low profile and adjusting the hook cooldown on his hook. Remember the original nerf? It felt like an eternity once you would use your Q to have it back up. It just did not feel like the same guy. But here it is. Team Rockstar actually in a fight right now. Nacho gets the first knock onto Tech as they turn around. Purple armor on that Wraith. Eva 8 just does not have the finishing power there, as Matt Pickett has to back away into Caustic Gas as well. Peach has gone down, and Nacho picking up 2 now. Matt Pickett, with almost no HP left, has to rely upon his arm shield here to try and win out this fight. Hitting for the 7 and the 25. Oh, these are paltry sums here. Matt Pickett might not be able to survive long enough. He doesn't have any heals, it looks like, as his teammates do get thirsted off. And oh boy, he is getting hounded down, and he will go down. Awkward Turtle picks that one up as Team Intel now, they are pushing their 50-50, taking out Seiko and Gordo. And we're already down to 16 squads. 45 players remaining. And here's the third party coming out from Lonely Fans.
And back to that Rockstar fight, I'm not exactly too sure what happened. They had an easy 2v1, and I'm not sure if Pickett wasn't able to connect the I know Gibby with Eva is very hard to use, always ADSing. It's an awkward gun to use with Gibby, so maybe that was the problem. But they should have definitely, they had a 2v1 and they had the advantage. It's awful to see them lose that.
All right, it looks like the circle will be pulling down here, Lion, to Thermal Station, as we do have Lonely Fans. They've taken circle building, and it looks like Team Intel are thinking that maybe this one just ends on that platform again. I mean, it has been a very prevalent one that we've seen quite frequently here in Series E, seen it in ALGS. Oh boy, Blueberry Smalls, you got to be careful. You know there's a team on the other side there, because now they have to back up, and Blight, you know, he doesn't decide to block the door with his barrel. Instead, we'll just go ahead and body block it. It's going to leave him vulnerable to that thermite, as Team Intel now are going to go ahead and full send it, waiting for these barrels to end as the nades are going to be used. So maybe Lonely Fans survive long enough here, and Intel have to call it on this fight.
And you have to be very careful taking fights this early on in end game spots, because so many teams are rotating in, and there's a lot of third party potential. So if this fight lasts for too long, you could see a third party coming in very, very quick, which would not be good for either teams.
This is a lot of utility being used by either side as well. That was at least 6 or 7 nades coming out from Lonely Fans. You gotta imagine that they're scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of loot at this point when you rotate back quickly now. But they are full committing onto this, it looks like, as the bubble has been used. They get peeked, hitting for the 90 there with that Hemlocks. Metro is gonna get that first knock onto Android Dreamer. It's gonna be a 2v2 though, as 6 does go down, but he trades his body for that play, as Panders is there to follow up along with Metro. The Q has been used. He's gonna grab this last bit of intel as he goes for the kidnap to actually stop that res. And now they have to try and push him, but here comes the EMP, and that was the third party that you were talking about, Lion.
Yep, and you have to be very careful, especially taking early fights on it in an endgame spot. This is what I was trying to talk about earlier. It's just there's so many teams rotating in, the third party's bound to come. Now Kubsky, Protectable, and Frapper, now they all have free utility, free heals, one of the best spots in the game, and they're looking pretty solid right now.
Yeah, and we have to remember that Intel gave up that platform to the west. That's where they were setting up for. That's where it looked like they were. The ring is more than likely going to pull. Now, like you said, Flashpoint, they're going to have their utility. They didn't have to use any of that for the fight. And Panders is just left here in 1v3, trying to force them back. But we'll see if he can even recover these banners here as he goes for the peak and now almost gets the knock there. 35 on that final shot. He's not going to be enough, as we've got a fight over here for Team Cheese It. Rakanishi was able to just finish one off. We're already down to 13 squads, 36 players remaining, as the ring will go ahead and continue to pull down the thermal. It's the tree rotate coming out from Team Cheese It. Pop-Tarts in a fight over here at No Name. There's, oh, we got an Octane in play. All right. I wonder if it's the Rev Octane coming out from Ranked Q.
And this is a smart fight by Pop-Tarts. They know there's no teams rotating in right now, and there's just a really smart fight if they're able to get the kill points off of this. They are playing an edge comp, and they're playing it perfectly well.
Yeah, it looks like Contris was the first one there, but oh boy, Team Cheez It getting themselves into another fight right now as Pop-Tarts are continuing to try and chase this one down. As there we go, Team Cheez It looks like they did have to contest with the squad and gonna be able to get the res up as Rakanishu throws the nade spam down into the gas just in case, and they will be able to get him back up. They've got the loot boxes here as well to recover off of that. It looks like Team Pop-Tarts are winning out on their fights, as Team Cheez It, they should be okay with just being able to play the edge here for now. You know, coming all the way from Lava City, they don't have the highest priority to get into Thermal Station.
They don't. And it's interesting to see them playing Caustic after the nerf. I mean, whatever, I guess. So the thing is, the less Caustics there are in the server, the stronger Caustic is. The more Caustics there are in the server, the weaker he is, because basically almost everyone's immune to that gas. So if you're one of the only Caustics in the server, you're gonna have that advantage on teams trying to push you.
Yeah, it's a huge fight control for them. NPL now making their push, and we're seeing a lot of early fighting around this circle building. Typically, you know, when we do have, in this circle, it would be 18, 19 squads still left. This building is just untouched. Everyone is just kind of huddled in their position, not really trying to make a play for this one until like 4th or 5th ring.
And it looks like Nessie Pure Life is trying to force a fight potentially on them. It's smart that they're portaling into it, just so they have a fallback portal into a decent spot. Maybe they're trying to get some big entry damage and get a knock, but you still have to be careful fighting.
Razor in a fight north thermal choke point right now. The defensive bombardment has been used, bubbles down from either side as well, but they have the high ground. They've got the angle. Nacho to go down. Goofy Gamer next, and just like that, Team Razor went out this team fight. It's just the last lone wraith. The armor about to get cracked, hitting for the 44. There it is. All 3 members of that squad knocked out, as Muffins making sure that he's gonna, of course, keep his wits about him, throwing down that scan. We're already down to 11 squads, 27 players remaining here.
Gonna be an interesting end game. This was a pretty smart play by Razor, taking out this team off their back, so they didn't have to worry about them going up on this rotation. They should have this choke for free, and they could just play that, holding out teams.
And at some point, it looks like Rice Krispie Treats. Yeah, we're just down to Casper by himself. And we'll see if he gets spotted out. We do know that Razor were up to their north right now on the TomCat rat cam. Here's Charlotte Phoenix, though, making their play. Haven't really seen as much of them out right now. They are missing out on one. Mini filling in. It looks like to play their third. They got the knock onto Crook. The scan there, and it looks like they should be able to get the thirst onto him, get through that blue knockdown shield, and secure that kill point for themselves. There's 2 assists on the board for Charlotte Phoenix, at least bronzy. So 3 kill points minimum for them, and we are about to crest the top 10. So we're going to get more and more placement points here. The scan does come out. They spot 1 out on top of the jungle gym, as looks like they're a little bit reticent to push that position, but here comes the airburst nade, and Bronzy gets tagged up from behind by a charge rifle. He has to rejoin his team, though, and Mini should be there if he needs the bubble, but Mini gets the knock onto Bambino, and Looks like they might be able to chase down the rest of this squad. Instead, they're slowly starting to retreat now towards the center tower, as they should be able to play the bottom. No, never mind. They're not retreating. They're just trying to find this last player here, as they are hitting for flesh, and Mercy might be able to get this, but the zip line allows that player to create some distance and might be the old fakeroo, but no, Mercy is not going to get bamboozled at all whatsoever. This is insane. Generally, you don't have this kind of freedom to just chase after a rat.
No, and notice his teammates are staying in the bottom because he's Wraith and he's able to have that aggression, and he can queue back just how he's doing now and just get back to safety. Normally, I mean, with any other legend, you wouldn't be able to do that just because of you're vulnerable and you don't want to have yourself stuck out in the open. So that it's really unfortunate he wasn't able to get that kill point.
Here's Team Cheez-It on the north side of Thermal Station right now, getting tagged up from the compound. This might be Team Razor trying to make a play on them. Yeah, it's the gold armor there. Oh, big spray with the flatline as well. He's got the gold mag on that. If he wants to follow up with the charge rifle, he could, but Rakanishu decides to just back up off of this. They've got a drop to work off of, so they might get the PK, maybe the Prowler. We'll see what they get. Doesn't look like anything great. What was that, a bat, a purple knock shield, and I don't even know what the third item was.
I'm not entirely sure. They're gonna have Team Cheez is actually not going to have the easiest rotate not having Gibraltar. They're looking at the zone that they have to go into. And Applejacks is not in a terrible spot. Their back's clear. They basically only have to worry about the team that's right in front of them on the building. They are not going to be able to force a fight on them. Late game, they will be able to play the blue bins behind them, which is a game-winning spot as well.
Yeah, a lot of the teams, of course, because we're already down to 10 squads, and a lot of the teams that already had priority on Thermal Station, if they were going to be playing the buildings to their south, would have already been there. So this is absolutely free for them right now. Here's Team Cheez-It looking for a balloon rotate, so they might actually land right on top of Applejacks. We'll see if Pop-Tarts actually lands on top of them. The EMP does come out onto Applejacks. There is the bubble to allow them some time to heal up, and the timing on this could be really bad. We know that Pop-Tarts are coming in for the balloon. If they recognize this fast enough, they might be able to push up, and they've got the roof control here as Aves sets up for the crossfire, gets his way all the way back to the Dorito building, but they're still split up. They don't have a bubble here, as you have Impulse getting some decent damage off onto that Gibraltar, cracking that arm shield for now, pulls out an R301 2-4 scope. Don't get to see that often on it, but he is putting in some work onto him, and he is still disconnected. Might have bought enough time for the bubble to get back up. The two players are still over here at Dorito. Stomps has the angle on them for now as the scans do come out. Stomps is considering throwing down that defensive bombardment, but looks like slowly that Gibraltar is getting back to the rest of the squad. Here's an offensive bubble now as they go ahead and push Dorito building nade out here, but the Wraith is just caught out. Aves goes down as Stomps is gonna, of course, keep the back clear as well. There's one more player on the low. It's a Watson to go down. They trade for that though, and here comes some arc stars now as the bubble's going to be used from the other side. It's a third party attempt by this squad, and this is really well timed.
This is extremely well timed. If I were Pop-Tarts, I don't know if I would have left the building that they were originally on. They had their back cleared, and Applejacks was extremely split. I believe they could have gotten it, but they're recovering really well actually. This is awesome. The third party backed up. Oh
yeah, I think Stomps' bubble is still down, so it's a little bit of a precarious situation, but they have cover.
Great recovery.
Yeah, it was. At this point now, Pop-Tarts do have full control over the south side of the map now, or southwest side of the map. All these buildings to work off of as the zone closes. They were even able to pick up the beacon for us, and so we do know for sure it is pulling over towards that platform with 9 squads left. Here's the port out from them as Team Cheez-It. They were here looking for the third party attempt, trying to pick up some KP. You saw the charge rifle shots coming in from Rakanishu as well. Probably Charlotte that are probably playing that building right now, as there we go, we got the update. TomCat, the rat has been exterminated as Rice Krispie Treats Casper does go down. Nice shots with the charge rifle there, hitting for almost full damage on both of those. Does Rakanishu? As it looks like RCO might be getting wiped out as well. But we didn't really get to talk about the amount of kill points that some of these squads are already putting on. Team Cheez It, take a look. There's 5 kills. Rakanishu is the kill leader. There's one more on Prodigy Aces, and I believe Rakanishu had 2 assists. There it is. So yeah, full 7 accounted for them. We're about to hit the top 5.
And Team Razor's going at it, clearing their back. I'm not exactly sure what team that was, but now they should have a free rotate in. Possibly they might have to fight one more team, but their kill points aren't looking too bad either. This is definitely going to be a close game.
Yeah, they've gotten into 2 team fights so far, so you know we can imagine maybe 6 kill points for them at this point. And you were talking about the rotate here. Could it be a little bit more difficult as the teams that are in the circle building, that are in the platform, they're pretty well positioned to try and gatekeep them. Luckily for them, of course, Tricky going to be on that Gibraltar to allow them to bubble up when they drop down. We'll see how aware all these squads are. Here's Team Cheez-Its, as looks like they are getting ready to contest for this. They have 20 seconds before the ring starts closing. They're going to have to commit on to something soon here. We'll find out. Never mind, they're just getting some free loot off these buildings for right now.
And they know there's a team above us. There might actually be free to play down there for completely free, because they know if they force a fight here, there's 5 other squads around and they will get third party. So both teams are smart enough to know not to fight.
And it looks like they actually did get a Prowler off of that box earlier. Awesome. That we saw on as Flashpoint now, fighting over and trying to maintain control over the platform here. You do have to worry. Rice Krispies to their north as well. 2 teams to their east right now. We have Pop-Tarts coming in from the south. I think that might be almost everyone accounted for. We do have one. Never mind. He's gone. TomCat Radcam. Rat exterminated. As Impulse picks that one up, Sushi is dead. So 5 full squads remaining here in round number 5. Team Razor in a spot of trouble there. Looks like the angle not quite there for Flashpoint to really try and take advantage of this, and that's the bubble down. This is their opportunity. They just need to wait out the cooldown for this.
Wow, and does Flashpoint have full control of this platform? That'd be extremely hard to do, and they're playing it extremely well. They're putting Caustic to good use. They have great cover over this entire platform, and I like what they're doing.
Yeah, Protectful just 18 damage away with that charge rifle. Really, he should be able to get in on the next shot. And if he doesn't, I don't even know what to say at that point. But it looks like Team Cheez-It are making their play. They have traded 1-for-1 up against Charlotte Phoenix here, but oh, never mind. Mercy. Had no mercy on them whatsoever. It looks like there might be a gold bag res coming out as they do pull off of that one. So Bronzy should get up with a lot of HP. Really fast recovery. 4 squads remaining. Pop-Tarts coming in from the south. Razor on the north. We got Charlotte Phoenix here playing on the east. And of course, on the platform itself, it's going to be Flashpoint for the time being. I don't know if just enough of that edge on this circle building is open for Charlotte to try and play. It's hard to tell on the map here, but it looks like Razor are making their move now as the defensive bombardment has gone down. That should force the members of Flashpoint off of the roof, allowing them the space to try and rotate in, but they're making a play for the circle building as well. So that's going to leave 2 squads over there right now. Do they have the bubble? There it is. Zero Tricky throws it down and gets under it just in time as they're getting shot up by Protectful. That's going to be 2 knocks from them. Is he going to be able to secure all 3? Frapper getting into the drone as well, providing cover for his squad. And Flashpoint, we were talking about them during the pregame. They are really living up to expectations now.
They are. And so it's basically, it's going to come down to the final squad or the final ring closing down, because maybe when there's 3 squads left, you don't want to be forcing a fight. But this team underneath the donut is getting bullied, and they're in a really bad spot. They're getting sandwiched from every single angle, and this is basically, if I were Pop-Tarts right now, I'd be looking for every angle I could get on them. That's free 3 kill points. I would be our Wraith. If I was Lucas, I'd be angling out there to do as much damage as I can.
Yeah, Charlotte Phoenix now going for that port play to try and get in and take the fight on over. And here's Stomps. He's got the defensive bombardment. This might be absolutely massive for Pop-Tarts. Both the teams here in front of them absolutely fragged out. They're not seeing anything on the kill feed quite yet, so it looks like it's just going to be a split on that building, one in the roof and of course one in the first floor. So getting nothing from that for now, but that allows Team Pop-Tarts just to play the angles here. As the ring will start closing in, they have plenty of cover behind these blue bins that you were talking about as well. Mini gets the first knock onto Frapper. They're waiting for the exchange. You can see that they are just tense, waiting, chomping at the bit. There is the first frag as well. Frapper getting thirsted off. It's a 3v3v2 here for the final circle.
And both teams actually need to rotate into Pop-Tarts. So, and I believe Charlotte Phoenix already used their portal, so this is going to be really rough. I'm not sure if Frapper used his EMP, but this should be a free win for Pop-Tarts.
I believe he might have used his EMP on Razor just about 2 minutes ago. It'll be very tight whether or not, but Frapper did go down there. And so, you know, unfortunately for them, they're not going to be able to fight with him so far, as they have been split up now. There we go. Looks like they're going to lose out on one more. Kubsky going down, Proteful gone. Okay, it's the final 3v3. And Charlotte have made it this much easier now. They don't have to worry about their back, and it looks like just Pop-Tarts might have been playing a little bit too passively here, as they do have to back up, as Stomps throws down that bubble a bit early here. And one goes down as Mercy falls, and now Pop-Tarts, they've got the 3v2. Bronzy's going to be the next one to fall. He's got 1 HP, somehow still surviving. Team Pop-Tarts will take the win here in game number 1.